Is Lars Nootbaar the smarter choice than Jazz Chisholm Jr.? Or are we overthinking when the Dodgers should just go all in on generational talent? Let me tell you something about how championship rosters are actually built in the real world, not in fantasy baseball. Sometimes the best move isn't the flashiest move. Sometimes it's the move that makes sense on every level, financially, tactically, and culturally. According to detailed analysis, while the Jazz Chisholm Jr. proposal has captured everyone's imagination, there's a compelling argument that Lars Nootbaar might actually be the smarter acquisition for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And if you listen to the reasoning, you might just agree. Welcome back to the channel, Dodger Nation. We got a fascinating counterpoint to the Jazz Chisholm Jr. trade proposal that reframes how we should think about the Dodgers' offseason strategy. This isn't about choosing between two good options. It's about understanding why sometimes the rational choice beats the flashy choice. Let's break down why Lars Nootbaar might be the perfect fit for what the Dodgers actually need, and why this move could be just as important as any blockbuster trade. First, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is undeniably talented. 31 home runs, 30 stolen bases, elite athleticism and swagger. He's the kind of player that makes highlight reels and sells tickets. But acquiring him would require sacrificing significant prospect capital, including players like Zaire Hope who represent the future of the organization. It's an all-in move that assumes everything goes perfectly. Now compare that to Lars Nootbaar. He's not flashy. He's not going to generate the same headlines. But he offers something that's arguably more valuable for a team in the Dodgers' position. Stability, versatility, and cultural fit at a fraction of the cost. Let's start with the financial reality. Nootbaar is heading into arbitration and should earn approximately $5.2 million. Compare that to Jazz Chisholm, who would command significantly more in arbitration or free agency. That's a massive difference in salary cap flexibility. In a sport where every dollar matters, that flexibility could be the difference between being able to make a mid-season trade or being stuck with what you have. But the real genius of the Nootbaar move is the intangible factor that most analysts overlook: the Team Japan connection. This isn't just feel-good narrative. This is real chemistry that translates to wins. Nootbaar played for Japan in the World Baseball Classic and became inseparable from Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He speaks the language, he understands the culture, and most importantly, he's already built trust with two of the most important players on the Dodgers roster. Think about what that means for team cohesion. Ohtani is dealing with being far from home, playing in a different culture, managing the pressure of being the best player in baseball. Having a teammate like Nootbaar, who already has a genuine friendship with him and understands Japanese culture, is invaluable. That's not something you can quantify in a stat sheet, but it absolutely translates to performance on the field. The local connection is also significant. Nootbaar is from El Segundo, California, and played college baseball at USC. Playing for the Dodgers isn't just a job for him, it's a dream. Players who are motivated by playing at home tend to perform at higher levels. They're not just playing for a paycheck. They're playing for something deeper. Now, let's talk about the tactical fit. Nootbaar might not hit 31 home runs, but he's a machine when it comes to on-base percentage. Even in a down year offensively in 2025, he maintained an OBP of 325 while hitting just 234. That's elite plate discipline. In a Dodgers lineup where you want to tire out opposing pitchers before Ohtani bats, having a player like Nootbaar who works counts and gets on base is incredibly valuable. The defensive versatility is another underrated aspect. Nootbaar can play all three outfield positions with competence. In a roster where you need flexibility to accommodate injuries and matchups, That's a huge asset. He's the kind of player who can step into multiple roles and perform at a high level. The cost of acquisition is also dramatically different. To pry Nootbaar away from St. Louis, you'd probably need to give up a package of mid-level prospects. Maybe a young pitcher like Landon Knack or an infielder like Trey Sweeney. You wouldn't need to sacrifice premium prospects like Dalton Rushing or Jackson Ferris. You'd maintain organizational depth while still improving the roster. Compare that to the Jazz Chisholm Jr. package, which would require giving up Zaire Hope, Haizon Kim, and Jackson Ferris. That's 3 significant assets for one player. With Nootbaar, you're giving up 1 or 2 mid-level prospects for a player who fills a specific need. The reporting's conclusion is perfect. The Nootbaar move is smart money. It's the kind of move that separates elite front offices from everyone else. It's not about acquiring the most talented player available. It's about acquiring the right player for your specific situation at the right price. For Dodgers fans, this represents a different philosophy than the Jazz Chisholm Jr. proposal. Instead of going all in on one generational talent and sacrificing the future, you're making a calculated move that improves the roster while maintaining flexibility. You're bringing in a player who's already connected to your Japanese contingent. You're acquiring someone who's motivated to play at home. You're doing all of this without mortgaging the future. The beauty of this approach is that it's not an either-or situation. The Dodgers could acquire Nootbaar for a reasonable price and still have the resources and prospect capital to make other moves. They could still pursue other targets. They could still maintain flexibility for mid-season trades. They could still build for the long term while competing in the short term. Think about what the Dodgers roster would look like with Nootbaar. You'd have Mookie Betts in the outfield, Shohei Ohtani at DH, Freddie Freeman at first base, and Lars Nootbaar in left field. That's a complete, balanced lineup with elite defense, elite offense, and elite chemistry. You'd have a closer in Edwin Diaz, an elite starting rotation, and organizational depth at every position. The Samurai in Hollywood narrative is also worth noting. You'd have Ohtani, Yamamoto, Sasaki, and Nootbaar all connected to the Team Japan experience. That's not just a baseball team, that's a family. And families win championships. So where does this leave us? While the Jazz Chisholm Jr. proposal is exciting and audacious, the Lars Nootbaar acquisition might actually be the smarter move for the Dodgers. It addresses real roster needs at a reasonable cost. It brings cultural and chemistry benefits that are difficult to quantify, and it maintains organizational flexibility for the future. It's the kind of move that separates championship organizations from everyone else. All right, Dodger Nation, that's the full breakdown on why Lars Nootbaar might be the smarter acquisition than Jazz Chisholm Jr. What do you think? Would you rather have the flashy Jazz Chisholm or the smart, calculated Nootbaar move? Is chemistry and cultural fit as important as raw talent? And how much of the Dodgers prioritize maintaining prospect capital versus going all in on established stars? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis helped you appreciate the nuances of smart roster construction, hit that like button and let's keep the conversation going. The off-season is full of these kind of strategic decisions, and we're going to be here covering every angle. Let's go Dodgers.